Welcome to SIT. For those of you who are new to the show, that's Sports Issues Today. We've got a great show today. Auburn Athletics Director Jay Jacobs is going to be on the show. And we're also going to have University of South Alabama offensive lineman Clay Matchin join us by phone. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's issue. You know, it seems like every year a different college athletics program is being accused of paying for play. It happened to Auburn University recently in 2010 with the Cam Newton situation. It's happened to USC, where Reggie Bush had to vacate his Heisman Trophy and USC had to vacate their national championship. And most recently you've heard about some allegations that Miami is dealing with in their football program. So, you know, something's got to be done about this issue to protect the integrity of all the sports that so many of us love. All right, now joining us on the phone is South Alabama offensive lineman Clay Matchin. Clay, how you doing?
Doing good, Seth. How are you?
Good. How hard is it for you to be a full-time student and a college athlete?
I think it's safe to say that we put in about 40 hours a week in season. So, you know, with that, I feel like that's a full work week for any job.
Okay.
So I think, doing that with school, it's a hard challenge sometimes, definitely in the fall. So.
All right, what do you think the NCAA could do better to maybe help accommodate college athletes?
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't cover everything, which would be nice because, we don't have time for a job. So, maybe just a few minutes a little extra would be the perfect fit.
All right, and last thing, do your parents support you financially on top of your scholarship?
My dad, he knows that it's a full-time job and I don't have time to work. So, he does put money in my account, every month. I think about some other guys at times, so I'm like, how do they get through this?
Well, I appreciate you joining us, Clay. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Yeah.
Cost of attendance versus the actual money you receive from a scholarship. If there's a difference in those two, if cost of attendance would be the things you're talking about, just to live on, to live and go to school and all that. And if the scholarship is less than the cost of attendance, then the answer is no. It doesn't cover everything, because your scholarship covers your tuition and your room and board and your books. Well, if you live in an apartment and let's say there are 4 guys in an apartment and you split into 4 ways, and your room may cover it. Well, if one guy has to move out and there's 3 of you, your room check may not cover it.
Right.
So it would depend on the cost of attendance versus it would depend on the cost of attendance versus the actual scholarship that you receive. Okay. And I think that what you've seen over the last few years is that academic integrity and illegal cash payments, the NCAA comes down pretty hard on institutions that do that. Well, it starts with the institution. It starts with the student athletes you recruit and the coaching staff and your compliance office and the culture in your department, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And that's where it starts. I mean, you can't legislate morality.
Right.
You got to have people with good morals that are willing to do what's right regardless of the temptation.
You know, some compelling words from the athletic director of Auburn, Jay Jacobs, and from the offensive lineman from South Alabama, Clay Matchin. So I just think that leads us to know that something has to be changed for this issue to be resolved. Something needs to be done to regulate pay for play, just so this is not an issue anymore. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us on SIT. I've been your host, Seth Taylor.